Y'all, it is April the 13th, 2023, and I'm feeling a lot better than I have been in quite some time. And I don't want to jinx it, but today will be the first day that I'm feeling a lot better than I have been feeling in a very long time. And I might tell you why after this, but real quick, I wanted to share with y'all this pressing information. Um, I imagine the same things still going on in y'all's world as far as the carnage and the chaos and lawlessness abounding. All right, so we already know that World War III, for example, and nuclear whatnots are always on the table, and we can't get into all of it. All right, it's a lot. I'm not gonna get into all of it. All right, but while we got a little bit of time here, I thought we would discuss something that's pretty dang crucial. And maybe not everybody's talking about it out there and stuff. We just thought we'd touch upon it. The headline reads this from Fox News. I suppose it's very recent. I saw it yesterday, and it says woman demanding reparations at Target gets punched in the face by security guard Rosa Parks moment. I'm not sure. I don't know if that translates actually. Uh, I mean, did Rosa Parks get punched in the face? I don't remember that part. But this is Michael Lee. He's bringing us this information, and I want to play the video. It's a very short video. I got it, I guess, set up right here. Hopefully, I don't want to play a commercial, but just to read a little bit before, you know what I'm saying? Okay, there's a man. He's a white man, and there's a lady, and she's a black lady, and he wound up having to punch her in the face. That's pretty dang crucial. And let me read some of this article. A woman who allegedly demanded reparations at an Ohio Target. I mean, people are tripping, obviously. People are tripping like hell. And this lady, she went to a Target and she just shopped around and shopped around. And, like, according to this report, it's saying that she just got to the front of Target and said, hey, man, this is my reparations. Ring it up as my reparations and put my name down and stuff like that. And everybody was like, that's not how it's supposed to go in Ohio. It's like, man, all over the country and stuff, people are just going to Walmarts and Targets saying, hey, I demand reparations and stuff. And perhaps just working in some places. Wasn't exactly working in Ohio. But it said, this is a Rosa Parks moment. 37-year-old Karen Ivory. And I keep on saying that, you know, for as many white Karens as there are out there, there's an equal amount of black Karens. And I don't have a problem with people named Karen. Karen Ivory told police officers after a confrontation inside the Blue Ash Target last year, according to the report from the New York Post. So sometime last year this happened. Ivory's explanation to the police came after a dramatic scene played out in a store where she attempted to pay for her $1,000. She went on a shopping spree. Her $1,000 grocery bill for demanding reparations from the store manager. So, without further ado, let's see what happens right here. It's a pretty short video. I'm gonna push play on this one. Bam. Oh yeah. Now he's still got his phone, man. You know, I mean, this guy. I mean, he was a one-hitter quitter, and he never even dropped his phone. And I think he acted okay. So that's pretty much, he's gonna be calling like 911 or something like that. Now she's just barely getting up. This lady, she's scrambling around. I wonder where she's gonna go. She's picking up stuff off the floor and stuff. And then she's gonna sit down and keep demanding reparations. All right, so that's the end of the video. All right. Well, what I wanted to put in there is that a lot of people wouldn't talk about it, is that when it comes to a white man in America, of course, or even you can say the same thing for black men and whatever else meant, is that you're not supposed to punch women, right? I mean, for the most part, not supposed to punch women, but so surely you're not. You'll do anything. You'll do anything to not have to punch a black lady in the face. All right. So if you lived in America, think about it. Imagine yourself in a situation where a black lady is forcing you to punch her in the face because she's demanding reparations. She brought $1,000 worth of groceries up to the front, and you got her in the back now, and she's rushing at you. Why would she rush at you demanding reparations? And the thing is, I don't know how many different things ran through this young man's head, but in efficient time, he figured out that he's gonna have to punch this lady in the face. It's like a snap decision that you gotta make. And maybe 1,000 other things try to go through your head because you don't want to punch this lady in the face. Why? Because they're gonna talk about it all over the place. I don't know how much they're going to talk about this, but I mean, how often is a white man, a young white man, be punching black ladies in the face? Well, I wanted to put that out there, and this young man's life might very well be ruined from here on out. I would love to follow everybody's journeys, and I'm realizing that it's not possible. And I love everybody, and I wish them so well upon their journey. And it's like, oh man, gosh, we're all having journeys out there, and it's ridiculous. If you enjoyed that part of the video, now I'm going to switch it over to a different part of the video in which I want to talk with y'all real quick. There's another thing that I wanted to mention. Try not to be too long and stuff. I got to get out of here and make that money. But recently, for about 3 weeks, I consider it a commercial or whatever. I gotta tell y'all about something. Something that I went through for about 3 weeks. And I didn't even realize, I mean, the time went by so fast and slow because I've been feeling like garbage. And it was a thing that crept on and got worse. And I was feeling like garbage. And I couldn't exactly put my finger onto why. You know? For example, I started having to get up to use the restroom during the night. It's not something that I was typically doing before, and now is starting to happen. My body started to ache a little bit. And actually, there was one day in which I was just, I guess, starting to feel the terrible nightmare, in which I worked out real hard. And then by the next morning, I was feeling a little bit like garbage. I was feeling very taxed. And it was a mystery. I was feeling very fatigued. I was feeling all these sort of things, and it was a mystery to me. I didn't know exactly what it was. Another day goes by, and it gets even worse. I swear I'm walking like Joe Biden. It was about 3 weeks ago. And I was all injured. I was very injured. I could barely, like I was saying, couldn't barely walk good, like Joe Biden. Having chills, having aches. I didn't know what to make of it. And I was considering everything. I put everything on the table. Like, for example, at this particular time, the weather in San Antonio is just off the map. It was back and forth. and it was hard to deal with. All right, so I was incurring that. I was starting to feel these aches, feel these chills, had to wake up at night and, uh, do the thing, and just feeling terrible. All during the day, feeling very fatigued and taxed. I didn't know exactly what it was. And I was considering, everything. I was like, could it be 5G? I mean, I know there's Wi Fi in my dang house. So it could probably be that. Like, I don't know what it could be and stuff, man. Could it be shedding? Is somebody shedding on me? Am I getting sloughed out? So it's like, I, I was considering all these things. But honestly, even in my terrible state, I didn't want to jump to any conclusions. I wanted to feel it out. I didn't exactly know what I was dealing with. All right, so fast forward actually to about, what's this, Sunday? I figured out that in fact I had or some sort of bladder infection in and around the bladder, obviously, because all the urinating and stuff. So, um, I realized not only see, all right, I kept injuring myself. I couldn't hardly move. And it's something that I never experienced before. But I came to realize that this was the case. I had some sort of bladder infection. I really hadn't been dealing with it because I didn't know what the heck was going on. Like for example, when I figured out what was going on, I immediately stopped drinking caffeine. They say you shouldn't want to do that. You should want to flush out and drink even more water and stuff and really want to flush out whatever's happening around your bladder. That's what Google told me. And so, I figured out it's a bladder infection. And what's so odd that I never experienced before is that I would be constantly hurting myself during this 3 week process, and I would just be injured. I'd be walking around in pain, and I would just constantly be hurting myself, even though normally I would not be walking around hurting myself like this. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, for example, if you bump an elbow, you might be like, "Oh man, I bumped my elbow," but you're probably not even gonna think about it later. If I would mess around and during this time while I'm feeling terrible, if I would mess around and bump my elbow would become injured. And that's, when I started to think about these sort of things, and this happened multiple times on different body parts. Like if any little sort of thing happened, that thing would become injured on me, and I would have to deal with it. All right, so I figured out that it was actually an infection going on, and so therefore that's probably what's inflaming the rest of my body, and it was getting me injured. All right, figured that out on about Sunday, and we're not looking at it right now. But when I figured this out on Sunday, there's definitely several implements that I started, like for example, no caffeine. And at that point, I was feeling so terrible that it's fine, and I just stopped caffeine starting Sunday, and I just barely got to drinking a little bit of caffeine today. All right, so Sunday, I went cold turkey on the caffeine. For example, I was eating the raw garlic. That's something even Google will tell you. And I was eating the raw garlic, of course, drink a lot of water. But one thing that I gotta mention, and I always forget about it. And then when I think about it, I remember and I look for it, and it's always worked. Now, don't ever do it. I'm not telling anybody to do it out there, but it's always worked when I've needed it to work. And I'm talking about Silver Bullet, which I don't even know if InfoWars store sells that anymore. All right, or if you have to buy it on some sort of different site. It's called Silver Bullet, and it's been a product for a long time. What it is basically colloidal silver. And you can Google, a lot of people already know about this colloidal silver. All right. So, what I've done for years now is I buy some of this silver bullet, and I do have to re-up now actually. I buy some of the silver bullet and I just keep it with me, and I don't mess with it. And then somehow or some way, I become infected with something. For example, like a tooth infection. I've been known to before to have ear infections. Um, right now, it happened to be something of a bladder infection. And so every single time I forget about it, and then I, weeks into the matter, remember I got silver bullet. And then I take silver bullet, and I gotta tell you, I don't want to jump the gun, but I'm feeling pretty dang good. And I've been doing this since Sunday, and I've still been feeling like garbage. But every day, I've been feeling a little bit better and a little bit better. And I just, Silver Bullet has never ever let me down. And I'm gonna have to figure out where and how to buy it again because I'm running low. And for these infections, because if you don't do that, and an infection gets as bad as it was for me, you're gonna need antibiotics. You're gonna need something, or else you're gonna go through a messed up process that doesn't have to be so long. That's why it's like you have to go to a doctor and get prescribed antibiotics to clear it out because you're not gonna be able to clear it out hardly. All right. But I happen to remember, I'm slipping and tripping. I don't really have a doctor. I know I could get one, and I got insurance and everything like that. But I don't have one, and now like these past 3 weeks were not the time to find like a doctor, I guess, or perhaps I could have done that. I don't know. The silver bullet comes in again and saves the day. All right. I'm feeling a little bit better. Trying not to jinx it. Taking it slow, easing back in. And I'll talk with y'all a little bit more about it later. But for example, earlier today, I did 15 push ups. That's right. 15 push ups times 15. I did 15 sets. And as a lot of y'all might know, Andrew Tate has been released from prison. He's on a house arrest. And I find him quite inspiring. And I try to implement some of the things that he says. And as I was finally starting to feel better, just a little bit better, I decided to do some push ups. Now, the other day, I actually tried to do some push ups. I did a little bit less. I think I did 12 sets of 15 push ups. And I managed to injure my elbow. My body was still so inflamed. Everything got injured on me. All right, but today I was able to do 15 sets of 15, and it's kind of boring, but it's like, man, you just got to keep tallying push-ups, because I don't want to be too long-winded. But if Andrew Tate, for example, or some of these people out here, if they're not lying, then as boring as push-ups are to myself, I find them kind of boring and arduous. If you were to do push-ups every single day, according to these people, and it's not only just push-ups, but that's where you start. If you were to do push-ups every single day, increasing on your push-ups, and ever more doing more sets of push-ups, figuring out how fast you're doing these push-ups, do sets of other whatnot while you're doing your push-ups to keep yourself entertained and stuff. If you do that, then the ladies, they really can't help themselves. And it's because you got this massive chest and everybody sees it when you're walking around. I have a pretty decent chest. All right, let's get up out of here. But I don't have like a massive chest. And so as much as I find it a bitter pill to take, Andrew Tate says Stop doing everything else. Do push-ups and just keep doing push-ups right now. And of course, you're going to want to diversifying in your movement and things of that nature. But in the meantime, just keep doing push-ups. I just barely got back into it today. Taking it easy because I don't want to overexert myself. But that being said, I got to start thinking about doing stuff a little bit more cleanly, a little bit more efficiently. I don't know exactly what it was that gave me a bladder infection. All right, but perhaps it was too much sparkling waters and everything else. Perhaps it was too much of these energy drinks that I'd been. Sometimes I would have 2 energy drinks in a day. All right, slipping and tripping, drinking all sort of fizzy drinks. I don't know if that's what happened, but perhaps that's what happened. So, anyways, let's get up out of here. But the reason why we're on this particular page, and I gotta get up out of here, is Turbo Force. A lot of people don't know what I'm talking about. Turbo Force is back on the market, and it hasn't been on the market, I'm told, for 8 months. It's back on the market. Retail price $59.95. Now, right now, if you go there, $44.95. I don't know how many servings. I'm the kind of guy, and I want to know how many servings. I don't know how many servings, but I would assume 30. I'm going to look into it. Yeah. When you think about it, yeah, for a canister and it's $4, damn man, it's kind of expensive. If this canister has 30 servings of Turbo Force, and it's not only Turbo Force, it is Turbo Force Plus, and you get more for your money now that it's in a canister and not in pouches. What I'm here to tell y'all and get up out of here is, of course, that energy drinks, I love them. I just barely started drinking the caffeine again today, and I drank a little bit, and my headache went away. I've had a headache for the past few days. It's right in the back of my head where it connects to my neck, and it was terrible. And I knew it was a caffeine withdrawal because I think I've felt that before. All right, I'm over here trying to get whatever fizzy, you know, energy drink into my system. 90% of these energy drinks have sucralose in it. If you could figure out what sucralose and you still think you want to drink it, aspartame and there's other ones, artificial sweeteners that are 600 times more sweeter than sugar, and just wild science fiction stuff. 90, and I was at HEB earlier. 90% plus has sucralose or will have aspartame or whatever else. And I'm over here dabbling and getting, because 10% of the energy drinks that you'll find out there do not have what may or may not be a carcinogen. They don't have that, which would let you know that they don't have to put sucralose in everything. They don't have to put all these things into your drink. It's just they know everybody loves energy drinks. I mean, I guess I'm on that train too. They know America loves energy drinks. Y'all, I hope none of y'all get wild, crazy cancers from daily energy drinks with sucralose. But anyways, we got to get up out of here. I mentioned Turbo Force Plus because even Turbo Force back then was the king daddy of energy drinks, and I'm here to tell you. And it's been gone for about 8 months, and so I certainly haven't had it. I think I might have bought some right before it went out of stock 8 months ago. So I haven't had it for a long time. And during this whole time, I'm dealing with these inferior drinks, to be honest with you. This is the king daddy of energy drinks. And if there's 30 servings up in this canister, if there is, there's no better energy drink price out there, right? And it keeps it real simple, and it's real flavorful, and it is the king daddy of energy drinks. People will never know. And I'm letting you know Most people will never know this is the king daddy of energy. I'm gonna have to buy one or two of these. And there's other stuff, turmeric and whatnot, infowarsstore.com. But don't ever do what I've done, because that's no good. And if you're infected, stay infected. All right. So I'll holler at y'all. It's April the 13th, 2020, 2023.